52-49, and you got a team that's going to want to speed you up and try to get to the 80s.
Yeah, it's March. I'm just worried about winning. Memphis is playing extremely well, and I think Jeremiah is averaging like 30-something a game in his last five. We're big. I always look at the team's last 5 game stats, and he's 23 assists, 7 turnovers, 30-something points a game, 47 points from the 3, or 47% from 3. Nobody in the, I think so. I didn't know they even had this, but Antoine Jackson just told me he won National Player of the Week. I didn't even know they had stuff like that. I don't really pay attention, but I guess he won National Player of the Week last week. So you guys had 2 games of over 40. I don't know how many players have done that in high major basketball this year. I would guess nobody at the high major level. And then Herb Jones was in the office today. Still looks like he could play, but we were talking, and you know, the guys literally, I mean, the way Jeremiah Martin's playing right now reminds me of Nick Van Exel. Left-handed, can get his own shot. He's just great one-on-one ability, and is just a dominant player right now. And you got a team with 5 seniors starting. You got 5 seniors starting that want to play in the NCAA tournament. And I think they have a chance. You know, I don't know why they're not on, but like their net is higher than teams that are in the tournament. And obviously, if they were to win against us, their net would skyrocket with a road win. So I think they have a chance to make it at large. Obviously, needing to win here Saturday. So you got a senior-laden team that's really playing well. I think Coach Hardaway's probably figured out his rotations. You know, he had a lot of freshmen his first year coaching these guys, so trying to figure out how he wants to win games with the group that he has, because he obviously didn't coach them last year, and right now they're playing extremely well. So it'll be another close one for the Bearcats, I think, Saturday.
What do you need to do to get Jerem back to the way he was?
I don't think it's realistic to get 20-plus every night in college basketball, especially if teams are just going to double you all the time. So, you know, that being said, you know, trying to freshen him up physically and mentally is really what I'm trying to do. I think when you got a guy that's had to carry a load that you know, he's obviously not a guy that is aerodynamically built like Memphis, you know, like Jeremiah Martin is. So just trying to freshen him up mentally as well as physically. And Jerem beats himself up too. He puts too much pressure. He's such a competitor that he's at a point in his career where, like, you know, if he doesn't dominate a game, he feels he's not happy. So he's got to realize, like, you know, that it's not going to happen every night. It's just not. He's got to get back to work and worry about the next game, then the next play, and just keep getting on with it and helping his team win. But I wouldn't change that about him. But that's just something, you know, it's my job to help him through that. You know, the teams are going to do what they're going to do to try to make it hard on him. And, you know, it's the evolution of adjustments. You know, where early he was surprising people when they guarded him, and he just shot it right in their face. Well, obviously, they're not letting that happen anymore. You know, it's not like I'm giving away a trade secret. I mean, just teams are way more in tune to stopping him in any way they can. So it's just, you know, he's got to continue to adjust and got to move better without the ball.
Does he look physically tired to you?
I think all these kids, you know, are beat up, but I think you know, in fairness to Jaren, you know, minutes played and you know, the effort it takes to create because with him it's scoring and assist, and then on the defensive end, and again, it's first year in this role for him. So I would say, you know, all these kids are tired and beat up, depending on what level of athlete you are. I mean, if you're built like George Vogel, you're going to be really beat up at this time of year, right? So, you know, that's a problem. Yeah, but, you know, I think mentally I'm a big believer, too, that being fresh mentally. I think that's why I think March 1st is a big day. Kids start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. February is the hardest month as a coach, I think, just to get your guys through. But when March comes, you know, here, you know, what are we, eight days away from senior day? You know, they can smell the tournament. It helps them mentally get fresh. it's a tough grind in
How
February.
much do you need Jaron to be productive, like what he was before?
I think, him getting 15 is important. He's not always going to get 25. But I just think it's just as important that, that Trey and Nasir are productive too. I think, they've had moments in our season where they put the ball in the basket at a high rate, a high percentage. So getting them going, I think you got to get everybody going. I mean, if you're going to go anywhere in March, you got to be playing your best basketball in a lot of ways from a lot of people. Because obviously, as it gets to 68 and to 32, and so on and so forth, you got to have multiple people helping.
You talked about situational basketball and how this team's done well.
Yeah, we're not perfect, but yes.
So why has this team done so well?
I think senior guards, Trey and Nas are, although they didn't play a lot, they've been in our program, so they've been coached, and both of them are intelligent people. And Jaron's really intelligent from a basketball standpoint. And it's just something we practice, we try to talk about a lot. I tell my guys, if you don't play hard, you don't have a chance. Playing hard gives you a chance to win. I think it's overrated. People think, well, Cincinnati wins because they play hard. I think it's unfair. We score, and we play smart. We play a lot smarter than we probably get credit for. And I think my kids deserve credit for that. It's just stuff that just doesn't show up in stat sheets that only coaches understand, as far as scouting report defense in the last 5 minutes of a game. And making free throws would be the last thing I'd add to that.
Is that rewarding the past couple of games, the way that they've converted theirs?
Happy for the kids, But, again, obviously you win games, but as a coach, you're emotionally attached to those kids. The last thing you want is, see a kid go up there and miss a big free throw. It's just, the kids put a lot, they all have hopes and dreams, the last thing they would want to do. So you're happy for them. Obviously, it makes my life easier. But then it builds confidence, too. So it's one of those things that can be all good or all bad, It's like missing a 3-footer on the 18th hole, man. It can mess you up for a couple weeks.
Has the situational gotten a lot better over the course of this season, or do you feel like that's a strength when you came in?
No, I think we've had to get better at it over the year because we didn't play a lot of close games last year. And a lot of these guys weren't in those situations. But, it just shows you, like Keith, he goes up. I think I had a lot of people reach out to me, said the way he walked up to the line at UConn and just made swish two like it was no big deal. Rashawn just did it. Guys that really didn't get in for, Rashawn wasn't on the team, Keith, so on and so forth. Making free throws, huge. In March, huge in close games. Playing smart is vastly underrated. Vastly, because there's things at end of games that only coaches see. And fans, you see the result, we see what caused the result. Unless Tony Romo's on the game, then the fans all know exactly what caused the result, because he's telling you beforehand.
Have you gotten comfortable with this team and what I'm getting at? Believe it or not, I've missed 4 home games, 2 last week at spring training.
I figured that.
It seems to me like you're trusting this team a lot now, and you're almost serene compared to maybe where I've seen you in the past.
Yeah, I think in fairness too, it's the TV camera when they put it on me. You never knew with some coaches they put it on. They used to put on me in my worst moments. Now they don't. Now it's on Danny Hurley all the time. So yeah. So I think but in seriousness, I think you got to know when you got to know what your team's capable of, and when kids are giving you everything they got, and when they are. You can't ask them for more. I think that when you do that, it's counterproductive. It's a really important part of coaching. That you can lose a guy if you're asking him to do things he can't do. And if he's giving you everything he's got, you may want more, and I would hey, Nasir's gone through an unbelievable growth period. So I'll use him as an example. He's had a tremendous year. Now you say, man, I wish he would finish some of these more shots around it. Yeah, but if he doesn't block 3 shots, we don't win. He's getting big rebounds, he's blocking shots, he's talking on defense, and here's a guy's playing, he sat on the bench most of his career. So you know, he's not going to go from 0 to 100. I mean, you know, even Kenyon Martin had to get better every year. You know, he's one of the most talented guys that I've ever coached or been around, if not the most. So, you know, trying to help them through all these situations is my focus. And knowing this group they've done nothing but try all year. So I don't have to deal with guys like not hustling. I'm just trying to coach strategy, and to be honest with you, trying to keep Nasir positive when he makes a mistake, or you know, or doesn't finish a basket, because he and Trey they're really hard on themselves. You know, they really want to do well. So you know, like with those guys, it's trying to keep them positive.
Is the defense finally starting to get to what you hope and expect?
Well, I'd say two things: the law of averages. I told you guys, you know, with the three-point shooting against us, that was going to even out. Secondly, scouting report, defense has gotten much better over the course of the conference season. I think that's because it gets better against you. So you have to get better because it gets better against you. But yes, we've definitely improved in that area.